Prick up your ears.
The sound of DTM.
My car sounds like music to my ears.
My favorite sound when the car is leaving the pits.
My favorite sound, the cheering of the fans.
Crank it up. My favorite sound? The silence before the lights go green.
Full blast.
Downshifting from full speed. When I rev up my engine to its absolute limit. Too close to cool. Cheering on the podium.
Be aware.
It's gonna be loud.
Hi everyone, and a very good morning to you. Welcome to the 3.931 km Moscow Raceway, where we are about to get qualifying for race number 1 underway. The conditions were not as we expected, if I'm honest with you. I thought that it was going to be really, really warm. Well, it is warm, but there's certainly no sunshine, that's for sure. And subsequently, the track conditions were greasy for free practice today. They're still greasy as the cars will go out for qualifying. Now there's a lot of cloud around, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with this track for the race to come. So, the tyres, interesting to see. Because certainly from our commentary positions, we've got RESTA. There really is still very, very damp conditions out there. Felix Rosenquist, rookie in to DTM, replacing Esteban Ocon. Has gone away of Formula 1. Felix Rosenquist doing a good job in practice this morning. Actually finishing P8 free practice. BMW of Marco Wittmann, who leads the points going into these two races here at Moscow Raceway. He will be hoping for results here. Position in 2015, race 1. So there the full results of free practice then. Muller was the quickest for Audi, then it was Paul di Resta, then it was Matthias Ekstrom, Jamie Green, Gary Paffett, Robert Wickens, and the rest of the order, as you can see. The last one was Lucas Auer. But we can't read too much into free practice, as we've said on many occasions before. It's about this qualifying that will sort out the grid for this afternoon's race, the shorter race of the two to come this afternoon. Timo Glock then awaiting his release from the garage. His garage is almost directly opposite position. So free practice 2 this morning was on a damp track. Bruno Spengler had the honours twice. P3 in free practice. Lights go green now, and qualifying qualifying to come to set the grid for the race this afternoon. Live from the Moscow Raceway. making the way from the pit lane out just beyond turn number 1. And they will be on the track ahead of the left-hander, which is turn number 2. Then it's into the right-hander, turn 3, squiggly through 4, 5, and 6 before a real blast down to turn 7. Then to another section which contains turns 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 before the really, really long straight that leads them back into turn 13 and the start-finish straight. So Felix Rosenqvist then, the current FIA Formula 3 European champion, makes his debut in DTM this weekend, replacing Esteban Ocon, who is off to Formula 1. And there then is Matthias Ekström. A couple of P7s last time out at Zandvoort. And is currently languishing down there in P8 in the points chart. So Felix Rosenqvist then makes his way out onto the track. There is Gary PAFFETT in the Euronics liveried Mercedes. There's Felix Rosenqvist. There you can see they make their way out onto the track just beyond turn number 1. Augusto Farfus not had a brilliant season. His best finish was a P2 in the opening round at Hockenheim. So cars lighting up now. See the blue colours on the wet weather tyres and the back end of the Matthias Ekström car kicking out. So Matthias Ekström then, the first one that we put the clock on. Free practice, he was P3. So has a good feel for this circuit already. And the conditions which won't have dampened still further since free practice, but I think they'll have dried out either any. They did have a Porsche Championship out on track in between free practice and this qualifying, but I think it's done much to dry out the track, and you can see the back end of the car of Matthias Ekström once again stepping out as he tries to find the absolute limit of adhesion. You can see through our lens there just how murky and miserable it looks. Weather conditions far, far from what we expected. Well, purple's in the P1. Sector 1 and Sector 2, but that's to be expected because it's the first driver that we have put the clock on. So this is the long straight up to turn number 13, which is the left-hander, which takes us into the start-finish straight. And to give you some idea, it was a 1:44.570 was the best time in free practice. And Eki now with a 1:44.390. Jamie Green at one point during free practice led a all-British lockout of the top 3. It was to RESTA, PAFFETT and Green, the 1, 2, 3 at one point. But he goes P2 with a 1:44.526. Say very early stages of this qualifying session, but there is actually only just under 16 minutes left. Timo Glock is the next one that we see. There's a focus on the dashboard. As Timo Glock lights up his BMW and makes the long run up from turn 12 to turn number 13, which is uphill. Right to the outside. It's a real favourite overtaking place, as we've found over the years here at turn 13 at the Moscow Raceway. He goes quickest now with a 1:44.177, 1:44.177 for Timo Glock. Daniel Juncker-Deyer is second fastest, Matthias Ekström third, and Jamie Green is fourth fastest at the moment. Nico Müller was quickest during free practice. What can he deliver from his Audi now? Well, fastest of anyone through Sector 1 with a 34.653. Traffic up ahead of him with the likes of Jamie Green. He has Maxime Martin, of course, who's been victorious here at the Moscow Raceway behind him. previous winners here at the Moscow Raceway in the 4 years that we've been here. Mike Rockenfeller has got the honour of taking the win twice.
Copy, one more left, keep pushing.
Maxime Martin has taken a win, and so too has the man of Formula One driver Pascal Wehrlein in his Mercedes DTM days. So Nico Müller then crosses the timing line now and goes fastest with a 1:43.732. But is immediately ousted by Maxime Martin with his 1:43.549, so a clear 2/10 ahead of Nico Müller. It was back in 2014 when Maxime Martin took his victory here at the Moscow Raceway. Timo Glock we watch now, who was 4th fastest. First sector very good, middle sector not quite so good as he slides the car and powers it through turn number 13. 3rd fastest for Timo Glock, who moves up a further place. See the all-yellow Deutsche Post BMW sliding all over the track. This is Miguel Molina, who's currently 10th fastest. Molina, who took a win at the Lausitzring, fantastic festival of motorsport we had earlier on in the season, where we combined DTM with GT Masters and Formula 4 and all sorts of other great things. It was a huge, huge success at the Lausitzring. So Molina then personal bests in Sector 1 and Sector 2. It's Martin that leads from Müller, Glock, Wickens. Then it's RESTA and Mortara, the top 6 at the moment. Molina then is in the top 10 currently. See how he tiptoes the car through turn number 13 and crosses the timing line now to improve 4 places, because his 1:44.077 gives him P6. On the grid for the race to come this afternoon. There, a super replay of heat coming off the tyres. Throws the car over the rumble strips. Antonio Felix da Costa then made his GT racing debut in the German GT Masters a few weeks ago at the Red Bull Ring circuit in Austria. Back into the DTM car, where it's currently P14 in qualifying, a 34.878 through Sector 1. As the Christian Vittoris Mercedes-Benz ahead of him. And we're on board with Gary Paffett, who's done 2 PBs in Sector 1 and Sector 2, and during free practice earlier was 5th fastest, so ignore the P20 of Gary Paffett at the moment. We know he's got the pace and the liking for this Moscow Raceway. As he crosses the timing line now, he goes up some 15 places to P5, 1:43.758 from Gary Paffett, so 2/10 down on Maxime Martin then in the BMW that leads the way currently. We have BMW top of the chart, then it's Audi, then BMW again, before it's 3 Mercedes in a row. Robert Wickens, Gary Paffett and Paul di Resta. Matthias Ekstrom just outside the top 10 at the moment, as you can see, but he crosses the timing line now to improve to go P6. So 1:43.749. Needs to find the 2/10 that is the difference between P1 at the moment, Maxime Martin, and Matthias Ekstrom down there in P6. So Martin, Molina, Müller, Glock, Wickens, Ekstrom. Felix Rosenqvist, in my opinion, looked very, very good during free practice. Bear in mind, he's a rookie out here. He's got experience of this circuit, having raced here in the FIA Formula 3 European Championship. But Felix Rosenqvist then, who makes his DTM debut this weekend, and replaces Esteban Ocon, who's off to the Formula 1 grid. And Felix Rosenqvist then, during free practice, was P8. He's currently P14 in qualifying. He's done a PB in Sector 1 at 34.759.
Air pressure, please.
And
minus 41, minus 39, minus 39, minus 30.
47.3 through Sector 2. So P14 at the moment for Felix Rosenqvist as he brakes now for turn 13 and heads towards the timing line and improves 5 places because he is now P9. So good showing from Felix Rosenqvist. Into the pit lane is the Daniel Juncadella car. Now, that's the first car that we've seen to take the wet weather tyres off and to put slicks on. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what Daniel Juncadella can do. See most other cars remaining on the wet weather tyres at the moment, with the exception then of, as we've seen, Daniel Juncadella, who has slick-shod his Mercedes-Benz for the final 9 minutes of qualifying. Here's Gary Paffett then, quicker than anyone through Sector 1. Look at the focus on the UK driver's eyes there. As he takes the Mercedes-Benz through the sequence of turns here. Gary Paffett then, former DTM champion. We've got a whole row of cars coming into the pit lane now. We can see from my commentary position, which would suggest that the wets are coming off and that the slicks are going on. Martin TOMCZYK is one of those down there. No, the TOMCZYK car is actually being put into the garage for the moment. So, faster than anyone through Sector 1, PB through Sector 2. Now, bearing in mind, Gary Paffett is P8 at the moment. As we continue to watch as he breaks through turn number 13. Marco Wittmann, another driver that's come into the pits to put slick tyres on. Here comes Paffett then across the timing line, and he goes quickest. It's a 1:43.071 for Gary Paffett. Now, Daniel Juncadella.
I don't know about six. What do you think?
That's interesting, as we hear him back to his engineers saying the track is drying out a bit now, but he's unsure. And I was just going to mention, let's take a look at Daniel Juncadella. And Juncadella's lap time, which is 1:44.364. Now, we know that Juncadella is on slick tyres. Here comes Robert Wickens then, who goes into the pit lane. Also coming into the pit lane is Nico Muller, who is still on the wet weather tyres. We can see as he makes his entry into the pit lane. So gamble here as to whether drivers go for a new set of wets. We can see a new set of wets there, which we presume is standing by for Rob Wickens. A lot of grass on the front of the car there, as you can see. Yeah, it is a new set of wets going onto the Robert Wickens car. Down there in P13. Here's Eduardo Mortara then, who's faster than anyone through Sector 1. He's still on the wets. As you can see, the blue writing on the side of the tyre wall indicates the type of tyre that the drivers are running. De Resta, Muller, Glock were all in the pits momentarily. You can see Timo Glock from my commentary position right in front of me. He's another one of the drivers that's going with slick weather tyres for the final 6 minutes of this qualifying. So Eduardo Mortara then, faster than anyone through Sector 1. We're about to get his Sector 2 time up on screen. He'll cross the line as makes his way up towards turn 13. Well, it was a PB through Sector 2. Time to beat a 1:21.084 from Gary Paffett through the 2 sectors. Overall time for Gary Paffett, 1:43.071, as Eduardo Mortara now starts to brake to go into turn number 13. And goes across the timing line now, and he goes second fastest with a 1:43.154. So, pretty competent lap there from Eduardo Mortara. And whilst all that's been going on, the DTM rookie, Felix Rosenqvist, is P3. Yes, this man, Felix Rosenqvist, current FIA Formula 3 European champion, has been a DTM reserve driver for this season. And in now for the departing Esteban Ocon off to Formula 1. And Felix Rosenqvist, P3. Paffett for Mercedes-Benz is quickest, then it's Mortara for Audi, then it is Mercedes-Benz, and it's back down to P6 before we find the best BMW, which is that of Maxime Martin, former winner here at the Moscow Raceway. Just under 5 minutes of qualifying still to come. As
Okay, let me know
now,
if you need to stay on track or not? I think we need to stay on track. Still 3 laps to go. 3 laps.
Okay.
So it's PBs through Sector 1 and Sector 2 for Felix Rosenqvist, who's currently P3. It was Eduardo Mortara we heard on the team radio. Rosenqvist turns the final turn, turn number 13, timing line now, and stays P3, doesn't improve. Paffett with a 1:43.010. Stays at the top of the chart then with Eduardo Mortara P2. Then it's Felix Rosenqvist, Matthias Ekström, Molina, Martin, de Resta, Muller, Glock, Robert Wickens. The order on the left-hand side of the screen is Matthias Ekström now, who's done PBs through Sector 1 and Sector 2. He's got the Christian Vittoris Mercedes-Benz ahead of him, but that's not going to hamper him as he heads towards turn number 13. Big lock-up from Matthias Ekström as he tries to scrub the speed. He was P4. He now goes P2.
P2 now.
How many more laps?
Well, should be able to get 2 more laps in. Here's Robert Wickens then.
3 more laps, 3 more laps.
So 3 is the prediction. Back end of Robert Wickens' car now. Bear in mind, we know as he goes second fastest that he's on a brand new set of wet weather tyres. He's got Jamie Green ahead of him. Now, where is Jamie Green? P11 currently. So Mercedes P1 and P2 with just under 3 minutes of the qualifying session to go. The number 48 car of Eduardo Mortara for Audi Team Abt. He's currently P4. Sector 1 wasn't brilliant from Edo. Sector 2 was a PB. Just looking down the order to find where Bruno Spengler is, who had a couple of offs in free practice down there in P18 at the moment. So 1:43.348. Eduardo Mortara, P4. So Paffett, Wickens, Ekström, Mortara, then Felix Rosenqvist now relegated to P5. Then it's Molina, Martin, de Resta, Muller, and Timo Glock. Maximilian Goertz then in the 84 HWA Mercedes-Benz. Maximilian Goertz currently P13. Maxime Martin now 1:42.506. But interestingly, Maxime Martin still running on those wet weather tyres. You can see the blue writing on the sidewall of the tyres. Here's Maximilian Goertz then. Quickest in Sector 1, personal best in Sector 2. Maximilian Goertz on his way up this long uphill straight towards turn number 13, where he starts to brake now, turns the car in, heads towards the timing line. Where's he going to go from? P13. He's going to go second fastest, a 1:42.806 from Maximilian Goertz. Brilliant lap from Max then. So it's Martin Goertz, then it's Jamie Green, who's P3 before we find Gary Paffett. Adrian Tombe is P5, then it's Robert Wickens, Matthias Ekström. Here comes Paul de Resta. From P12, Paul de Resta goes no better. Brake bias being wound on by Paul de Resta, who's got 1 more lap to do before the checkered flag will be out for this qualifying session. So Martin Goertz, Green, Paffett, Tombe, Wickens, Ekström. Then it's Mortara, Glock, and Felix Rosenqvist, the top 10. We're watching Maximilian Goertz now. Quicker through Sector 1 than anybody else as he slides the back end of the Mercedes-Benz car. Just a little hint of spray as the checkered flag comes out because we're out of time. But those that are on a lap, of course, can complete that lap and the time will count. So for Robert Wickens, PB, Sector 1, quicker than anyone. Sector 2, he goes from P7 to P1 momentarily. 1:42.048 for Robert Wickens. Provisional pole position. There are others on a lap behind him, though, including Timo SCHEIDER.
Hey Rob, so you are at the moment P1, but people are improving. So stand by. Up job, P1.
SCHEIDER goes to P4. Nico Muller crosses the line straight after him. Maximilian Gertz stays P2, so it's Wickens, Gertz. Timo Glock then at the back end of the car, very skittish as he braked to go through turn number 13. He improves to P6. And it's Gary Paffett now, 1:41.443. That gives us, I am sure that is going to be the pole position, because I don't think there's anyone going quicker behind him. Unless Matthias Ekström can wrestle it away. No, he improves one place to go to P5. What a fantastic lap from Gary Paffett right at the end of the session. A 1:41.443. And we're on board with the Mercedes driver now. You can see the smile, even though the crash helmet is in the way of his mouth. You know that he's smiling. Uli Fritz there on the pit wall for Mercedes-Benz. Be pretty satisfied with his driver's performance when you consider that the Mercedes-Benz brand, P1234, to the right of your picture is Hans-Jürgen Abt there. Very best Audi is Matthias Ekström, P5. And look at the celebrations and the Mercedes-Benz garages. Now, notable, in my opinion, is Felix Rosenqvist. His first qualifying session in DTM, and Gary acknowledges the fact that he's done what he needed to do. Felix Rosenqvist then, in his first qualifying session for DTM, has taken P9. So inside the top 10, I think he should be very, very proud of that. Oh, steady on, chap. So qualifying here at Moscow Raceway sees this man take P1. Gary Paffett then, followed by Robert Wickens and Paul Di Resta. And Paffett then. That lineup of Mercedes-Benz cars, the top three. Robert Wickens straight away over there to congratulate Gary. So Paffett, Wickens, Di Resta and Maximilian Gertz then. About that for a performance. Tap on the crash helmet for Gary there from Robert Wickens. Drivers off to be Wade. So qualifying done and dusted ahead of the race to come. This afternoon, short race of the two, of course. But it's that Euronics Mercedes-Benz that has delivered a pole position for race number 1. Here's the qualifying in full for you then. Paffett, Wickens, Di Resta. Then it was Gertz, Ekström, Martin, SCHEIDER, Glock, Felix Rosenqvist, Jamie Green, Adrian Tompe and Eduardo Mortara occupying the top 12 places in qualifying, with Spengler, Farfus, Felix da Costa, Molina, Muller, Auer. Then it was TOMCZYK, Wittmann, Blomqvist, Juncker-Deyer, ROCKENFELLER, and all good news for Mercedes-Benz. Christian Vittoris bringing up the rear of the pack, qualifying for race 11, done and dusted here at the 3.931 kilometre Moscow Raceway. Gary Paffett and Robert Wickens then share the front row of the grid for the race to come a little bit later this afternoon. There's all Mercedes row 2 as well, with Paul Di Resta and the best qualifying to date from Maximilian Gertz. Then we see Matthias Ekstrom and Maxime Martin as an Audi and BMW share the next row. It's the same for row number 4 with Timo SCHEIDER and Timo Glock going from P7 and P8. Felix Rosenquist's maiden qualifying gives him P9 alongside Jamie Green, who will be going from P10. Then we find Adrien Tombe and Eduardo Mortara, 2 Audis together on the 6th row. And then we find 2 BMWs together on the 7th. It's Bruno Spengler and Augusto Farfus. Then it's Antonio Felix da Costa and Miguel Molina. Before we find the Nico Müller car going from P17 with the Austrian Lucas Auer alongside him. Martin Tomczyk, P19, Marco Wittmann then, points leader going into the race, going from P20 with Tom Blomqvist, P21, P22, going the way of Daniel Juncadella. Then it's former champion Mike Rockenfeller, P23, and Christian Vitoris going from P24. That's the way the grid looks for the race to come this afternoon. So some of the spectators here who will enjoy the DTM race action to come this afternoon, and you can see Maxime Martin there to the just walking away from his engineer. Christian Vitoris looking pretty disappointed as he walks up the pit lane now. Perhaps understandably, P24 not where Christian would expect to be putting his car. So qualifying done and dusted, and please join us for the race to come a little bit later this afternoon. What a race it's going to be. Bye-bye for now.